above all powers, above all kings, above all nature and all created things, above all wisdom and all the ways of man. You were here before the world began. Above all kingdoms, above all thrones, above all wonders the world has ever known, above all wealth and treasures of the earth, there's no way to measure what you're worth. Crucified and laid behind a stone, you lived to die, rejected and alone, like a rose trampled on the ground. You took the fall and thought of me above all. Above all powers, above all kings, above all nature and all created things, above all wisdom and all the ways of man. You were here before the world began. Above all kingdoms, above all thrones, above all wonders the world has ever known, above all wealth and treasures of the earth, there's no way to measure what you're worth. Laid behind a stone, you lived to die, rejected and alone, like a rose trampled on the ground. You took the fall and thought of me above all. Behind a stone, you lived to die, rejected and alone, like a rose trampled on the ground. You took the fall and thought of me above all, like a rose trampled on the ground. You took the fall and thought of me above all.
In the beginning the Word already existed. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. He existed in the beginning with God. God created everything through him, and nothing was created except through him. The Word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it.
Most good authors know that they have but a few paragraphs to capture the interest of someone who may have picked up their book. If the first chapter or two is dull and uninteresting, that's probably as far as the reader will get. However, if within the first chapter the author has been able to grab the attention of the reader, chances are they will be captivated. Whether or not the writers of the Gospels were aware of this or not, I don't know. However, it is intriguing to look how each of the Gospel writers commences their writings. Mark has nothing to say about the birth of Jesus Christ, and it is well along his lifeline that Mark begins his account. Matthew gives us a rather lengthy genealogy to try and prove the fulfilment of Old Testament prophecies. And by modern concepts, this would not be viewed as the way to introduce the reader to your book. Luke, on the other hand, gives us a very detailed sequence of events to introduce his readers to Jesus Christ. It's as if Matthew has taken a blank canvas and filled it with lots of dull and uninteresting people, while on the other hand, Luke has a very detailed canvas with a high degree of activity. John also starts with a blank canvas. However, on his canvas is just one single person on whom John intends to focus very clearly in his gospel, Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. There is a sense in which John wants to clear the decks, as it were, to introduce Jesus Christ as the eternal God who was and is to come. John does not want to clutter his canvas with genealogical individuals or to detract from his central focus by including lots of historical narratives and figures. It's as if he sets aside the numerous prophecies and the various narratives that are part of humanity's effort in coming to know God. It is not just coincidental that the writer of this gospel commences with exactly the same phraseology with which the Bible itself commences, in the beginning. There is an indelible tie here to the Creator God, and the writer's intention is to establish beyond a doubt the eternal existence of Jesus and the fact that his existence and presence is part of the Godhead. Much of that which John is about to say throughout his gospel is based on the fact that God himself has come in a very practical and direct way into the world of humanity. Much of this is probably beyond human comprehension, but the unarguable fact is that John clearly establishes the presence of Jesus Christ as God come in human form. To a first-time reader of John's Gospel, the prologue here may sound a little confusing with its reference to the Word, which is capitalized. Obviously, the writer wanted us to understand that in using Word, there was a deep significance that went beyond. Most of us with some Bible knowledge will know that Word here is representative of Jesus Christ. And as you continue to read the rest of this chapter, this becomes obvious. In reading through John's Gospel, you are left in no doubt as to who is the one and only person on the canvas. Right near the end of his Gospel, John's focus is still clear and intentionally concentrated. Throughout his Gospel, many other players have come and gone, but the focus remains on he who is the world's Redeemer. But these are written so that you may continue to believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing in him you will have life by the power of his name. It is my belief that John unambiguously and intentionally has kept his focus on Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. Even the most casual observer of our world's history would have to admit that this man, Jesus Christ, stands apart from any other human being who has ever been born. His life, death, and resurrection has had and continues to have a consequential impact, not only on the lives of individuals, but also on the course of our world's history. No one else throughout the history of our world has come in any way close to having the impact on our world as Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. His life and teachings have had a significant impact on the history of the world, acting as a formative force in the spiritual, cultural, and social landscapes for more than 2 millennia. There are a few areas of life in our Western world that have not been impacted by his life and teachings, from law, art, culture, politics, and social reform. Music compositions about him, such as Messiah, continue to stir many throughout our world, even until this very day. The writer of John's Gospel was right on the mark when he said that the coming of Jesus Christ would give life to everything and light to everyone, indicating there was no part of our created world or its people that would not be impacted by Jesus Christ. Isaiah chapter 49 verse 6 predicts the Messiah as a light for the Gentiles, bringing salvation to the ends of the earth. This prophecy foretells Jesus' impact beyond Israel, as his message would reach and transform the entire world. The writer of John's Gospel also prophesied that Jesus Christ would bring a light into the world that could never be extinguished. Over 2,000 years of world history have proved him right. Over millenniums in our world history, there have been those who have tried to erase his name and the religion he founded, Christianity, from the face of the earth, but to no avail.
I believe. What a powerful statement. For thousands of years, men have staked their very lives on this belief that Jesus Christ is real. Why? Because it is this belief that gave their life meaning. Today it's the same. Jesus Christ in a life does make a difference. He's the source of a meaningful, purposeful life. Where there's dissonance, he makes music. Yeah, he's the source of music.
You ask me why my heart keeps singing, why I can sing when things go wrong. But since I found the source of music, I just can't help it. God gave the song. But since I found the source of music, I just can't help it. God gave the song. Come walk with me through fields and forests. We'll climb the hills and still hear that song. For even hills resound with music. They just can't help it. God gave the song.
Yes, God gave the song. It's always been with us. The song came into our world through a manger in Bethlehem. It was a simple song, a simple, lovely song for every man. Right from the first, some tried to ignore it. They said there's no song, it simply doesn't exist. Others just tried to change the tune. They made laws to stop it. Armies marched against it. Killed some who sang the song, screamed at it in fury, tried to drown it out. Finally, they nailed that song to a tree. They said to themselves, there, that should take care of that. But it didn't.
What's that I hear? I still hear that music day after day. The song goes on, 'cause when you find that source of music, you'll always hear it. Oh, God gave the song. Come on, John. It's the song of Jesus. Day after God gave the
So how does all this impact our lives? We can, of course, just completely ignore his existence or see it as having little or no consequence in our lives. However, if we do, we are choosing to ignore the most important person in the history of the world. If, on the other hand, we conclude that this man is important and unique in our world's history, beyond any other who has ever lived, then surely his life and message has something important and consequential to say to us, something that must impact our lives today. This passage of the Bible presents us in our world today with a challenge to the existence of a higher power, a supreme being. It is a challenge we need to confront and settle if our lives are going to have meaning and purpose. These first few verses of John's Gospel reveal Jesus, who is the Word, as the eternal, divine God, the creator of all things, and the one who holds the destiny of all worlds and all people in the palm of his hands. He is presented as the world's Redeemer, the one who will bring light and life to a world all too often enshrouded in darkness. It presents us with a God who is intrinsically involved in the lives of the people who will acknowledge him, a God who is all-powerful, all-knowing, yet unchanging in his nature, which is basically love. There is a promise of a light that is like no other light mankind has ever experienced, a light so powerful that it can never be overcome, and in this we find assurance that this God embodies love, truth and compassion in a world that often seems lost and dark. It comes as a beacon of hope. While John commences his gospel with a focus on Jesus Christ, during the course of his writings, we are confronted with a personal response to this man. There can be no doubt that Jesus Christ is like no other person who has ever lived. His impact on the world and its people is of great consequence, so great that we cannot ignore it. We are confronted with a response that is incredibly personal. How do I, as a person, respond and relate to this man, Jesus Christ? John's Gospel presents Jesus as a man of love and compassion who wants people to respond to him. However, his words also convey a warning that a day will come when it will be too late to make a decision, and it may well be that our indecision has made the decision for us. He clearly indicated that he would one day return, not as the world's Redeemer, but as the world's judge.